Good morning, YouTube. Mark here. Kind of a late morning start for me. It's actually getting to be close to like 9:30. Actually, it's past 9:30. Let's see, we're going north today, north of Madison, to another section of the Ice Age Trail called the Indian Lake segment. It's at Indian Lake County Park. And let's see, details on the trail. It's about 2.9 miles, I think, something like that. Hill difficulty is 3 out of 5. So I'm kind of thinking that's going to be a lot like the Blackhawk and Whitewater segments, but with only 2.9 miles, I think I can do it in a decent amount of time. The trail difficulty itself is a 2. So I'm expecting, maybe some rocks and roots and stuff like that in the way. But other than that, it should be a fairly well-groomed trail. Now the park is pretty vast. I mean, it's not a huge park, but it is 450 acres. Of course, a lot of that is the lake. But there are something like 8 miles of trails within the park. Okay, and we're only going to do 2.9 of them. So it's going to be one of those things that you're constantly having to watch for trail intersections and which way the trail goes and stuff like that. According to my guidebook, they have it very well marked. So I'm kind of trusting on that because Dane County has probably one of the most active Ice Age Trail Association chapters there are. So I'm expecting this to be a very well-kept, well-groomed, well-maintained trail. Now, after that, kind of depending on the time, there is a new trail segment. I don't even know the name of it. In my guidebook, it's just called the Future Trail segment. It's, like I said, about 2 miles, maybe close to 3 miles away. And that trail is supposed to be like 2 miles long, but that's all I really know about it. I don't know what the terrain's going to be like. I don't know what the trail conditions are going to be like. I don't know anything really about it. So depending on the time and the weather and stuff like that, it's now going to be variable on whether or not I'm going to even get to that segment. I'm hoping, but I just don't know. So with that, I'm going to pay attention to my driving, and I'll see you at the trailhead. I have arrived at Indian Lake, and the driveway is pretty long. You can see it goes way down that way, and it's actually part of the trail. My process on this is I'm going to go, the trail is, it starts up this way, and I'm going to go around up in here, kind of goes up and down around the lake, and then I'll come back. The trail actually ends on the other side of the lake, and then I'm going to walk basically along the road over here to the entrance of the driveway. I'll turn my GPS back on and then up the driveway. So that's my plan. And there's a couple other things that are around here that I'm going to stop and get pictures of. There's like a memorial or something that's up in the hills up here, and I think the park actually extends just beyond the road, and there's like an old, you might be able to see it back there in the distance. I doubt you can see it on this camera, but there's an old rundown house back there that I'm gonna stop off at and get a few pictures of while I'm here, and then jump on the road and go to that other trail segment if I have the time. All right, let's see what the park information has. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got cross-country skiing. There is a fee required for that. $7 daily, $30 annually. A dog permit is required as well. $5 daily, $30 annually. Let's see. think that's pretty much all there is here. I mean, there's a couple other little things. There looks like there should be some maps in there for the skiing trails and stuff that are around the area. Here's your dog permits here with a pen to fill it out. Of course, the bin for your registration money. And I also know that there's like a cabin here that you can actually call and rent and get some information on that. But please, you have to call and reserve it. You can't just show up and use it, okay? All right, other people are coming, so I'm going to sign off and get moving. Okay. So there's signs all over, so you really gotta pay attention, because there's this post has no information whatsoever on the Ice Age Trail. It's just skiing trails and other hiking trails that are within the park. That post over there is the one I'm looking for, the one with the yellow blaze. That's what I need to follow. This is kind of peculiar on this fenced gating area here. There's a little yellow bent arrow on that post. I think that's supposed to be my trail, so I'm going to follow it. And in fact, it must be, because down that way I can see a tree that's got a yellow blaze on it, so that's where I'm going. Okay, let's see, what do we got up here? I actually see a couple of yellow blazes, so I think the trail goes one way, and then I'll come back on another trail and probably turn around and go another way. Oh no, it's for the same trail. Here, let me show you what I got. Okay, those two posts are basically pointing to the same trail, which is going up that way. I thought that one was going to have me going up this trail, coming back on this one, and then go up that one. That must be the cabin that you can rent. I say we go check it out, huh? Alright, so there's the cabin. Looks like you have an outhouse you can use. Look at all the moss on that rooftop. That's just weird. Makes me wonder how waterproof the roof really is. But you got a nice little fire pit, picnic tables. You're even given some wood. Lots of trails around. That was a hill I just came up. It's actually steeper than it looks. That's actually one of the bad things about video cameras. You can't really get depth of angles and stuff like that. Alright, so let's see what's here. There is a suggested donation for wood at $5 a bundle. Got some cards to fill out here. And of course, the drop box for your donation fee. It looks like it is unlocked, so let's see what's in here. No beds. Just a couple of picnic tables, basically. So that's what we got in here, basically. A couple of picnic tables, a fire stove, a wood stove. That's basically all that's in here. A little bit of a musty smell, but not too bad. The roof looks good. I don't see any leakage or anything like that. A trash can in the corner. They even got a little bag here on the floor. It's got newspaper and stuff like that in it, so you can start your fire in the wood stove. Of course, trash cans on the outside. I'm assuming that the bathroom will be a pit toilet. Now, there were toilets when you first come into the parking lot. There are pit toilets there if you need to use them. The guy's toilet was completely disgusting. This looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. Of course, it also looks a lot newer. So, not bad. I definitely got to come up here and clean the roof. I can see missing the shingles all over the place, and I mean I can see the felt laughing underneath the tiles. Yeah, so a little bit of roof work needs to be done on this cabin, but it is dry inside. Nice little bench for you to sit on. I'm not going to use it right now. Got to get in the woods, you know. Can you imagine what all these trees would look like in the fall? That would be beautiful, simply beautiful. Lots of places to sit, and there's another bench right up here. There's just one right back there not too long ago. Lots of birch, oaks, maples. Just not a whole lot of pine. I mean, a few here and there, but not a whole lot. It's primarily birch, oak, and maple. Telling me that this would be a beautiful spot in the fall. Birds everywhere. I'm constantly hearing them chirp and squawk, sing. Seeing cardinals, blue jays, sparrows, finches. And that's just in the few minutes that I've been here. Coming up on another trail intersection, you can see the trail right here, coming next to me. That one comes down, goes off this way. My yellow blaze is telling me to go that way. So, moving straight ahead. Don't let these signs fool you as far as the Ice Age Trail goes. You're not going the wrong way, okay? Oh, very nice, very nice. So yeah, they keep the trail very well maintained. I've never really gone through a narrow spot. It's all been nice and wide. Very well trimmed and cut. A few rocks and sticks and twigs and roots. But yeah, not very difficult at all. Definitely a 2. The hill terrain, definitely a 3. Hey, at least I get to go downhill now. I've been going uphill for a while. Alright, I'm at a trail intersection. I can go down that way, or I can kind of round this bend and keep going off in that direction. There is a blaze here with no arrow saying for me to go that way or for me to go straight. I just don't know. And I'm looking down the trails to see if I can see a blaze, and I'm just not seeing one. See one down that way before it drops off the edge. And I'm looking down there, there's a post with no blaze on it. And I'm not seeing any trees going up that way either. So, which way do I go? Guess I try one, and if I don't see a place for a while, I double back and try the other one. I'll go straight ahead and see what happens. I have a feeling this is the wrong direction, though. Well, it looks like I'm coming out of the woods into the marshlands around the lake. So now the scenery gets a little different. Well, I'm coming up on the lake here. And another intersection. I got a trail going out that way, I got another trail going out that way. And here's a post with a blaze on it. The post is not telling me which way to go. But I know this time, from looking at the map, that it stays on this side of the lake, so I'm going to head out this direction. This time, I'm going to take advantage of that bench because I'm getting a little warm, a little tired, a little thirsty. I want something to drink, maybe a little snack. And hey, when you get a view like that, how can you not stop and take a look at it? It's been really nice. Hills are difficult. It's definitely a 3. Definitely a 3. But I should be, things should be a bit easier now that I'm out of the wooded hills areas up and through here. And I basically just got to skirt the rest of the lake now. So should be a nice, easy walk. Alright, I just want to show you real quick what I got for a digital recorder here. This is why I'm able to talk farther away from the camera and you guys still hear me, fairly well. So basically what I do is I turn on my recorder and I got the microphone clipped into my collar here, so it kind of acts as a windbreak too, and it works fairly well. But now I can record. I'll do some sort of symbol. Usually people clap their hands or something like that, or whistle or something, snap their fingers. That way they can get the audio from the recorder synced up with the audio on the camera. That was weird. Sounded like a dying moose, whatever that was. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm doing now for video. I don't, or for my audio, I don't use it every time. When I'm close to the camera like this, I'm not going to use it because the microphone of the camera will pick me up just fine. It's when I'm farther away. If I'm walking down the trail and I'm recording something and I stop to say something, that's when I'll use it. But otherwise, it just kind of stays in my pocket. So if you ever see a cord or something sticking out of my shirt, that's what it is. It's the cord to my microphone. Alright, well, I think I'm going to eat one more piece of cheese, take another swig or two of water, and get moving. Oh wow. I was actually thinking that I was going to continue on this trail and go, stay close to the lake. But my blaze right here says that I take this trail up here. So get up and away from the lake a little bit. Now when I came down by the lake and coming out of the trees, I said that we were going to get into more of the marshlands around the lake. I don't want that to sound like it's wet and muddy and stuff like that. It's not, okay? The trail is up above the lake a fair amount. So it's not really muddy. I mean, it is today because we've been having rain and stuff, but it's not like you're going to trounce through a swamp, okay? This is nice. Got a nice wide open prairie area right here. Got the lake over there. Woodlands behind me. Got it all. I've been skirting the tree line here, out of the trees back there, next to the big prairie, and I was hearing a bald eagle cry, just that high-pitched squeal of theirs. Saw it up in the tree. It's like, oh, I gotta get a picture, but you know me, getting pictures of birds damn near impossible. By the time I got my camera set up, started zooming in, he took off flying. Like, damn it, missed another one. Well, we got a little creek here. There's not much to it. I'm sure in the summertime it probably dries up. Not seeing any fish in it. Seems more like a drainage creek than anything. Okay, let's keep moving. Come on, I said let's keep moving. Well, that's kind of nice, that sled back there. They keep it in case your dog gets injured while it's romping around out here. So, only for medical emergencies for dogs only. Got a nice little boat launch on this side of the lake. And the lady behind me, and she's over this way more. She just pulled in and her two dogs jumped out. And this is it. This is the end of the Ice Age Trail for Indian Lake segment. A little bit of a historical plaque here. It's all about Black Hawk, the Indian War, and basically they came right through the Indian Lake area here. It's kind of cool. They kept on fleeing the U.S. cavalry forces. Got all the way up to the Wisconsin River where they were eventually captured up there. And then this here is just information about the lake. There's a memorial about somebody. I didn't read it quite yet. The self-registration that is over at the other area. All about registering your dogs and paying your fee and all that. So we're done. I'm going to start skirting along the lake here on the other side and get over to the driveway on the other side. Okay, so I'm coming out on the end of the trail that goes along the north side of the lake. I've done no recording on this trail because, well, technically it's not the Ice Age Trail, so I didn't record anything. but it's flat. Skirts around the marshy area of the lake, so there is some wet ground. So there is some wet ground around the area. Yeah, it's one of those things that you step and your foot kind of squishes into the ground. But there's that old settlement house over here. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna take a look at it. I see well, it looks like a park sign over there, so I think that we can get over there and look at the old building, and then we'll come back and we'll walk up the driveway and finish off the Ice Age Trail. And then there's one more thing around this park that I want to show you before we take off. Okay, I'm walking up the driveway to the Halfway Prairie Wildlife Refuge. Old house, old barn, informational kiosk. Let's see what they got here. It looks like the house is bordered off with a fence, so you can't get in there and climb around, which is good, and that way you don't hurt yourself. Well, that informational kiosk wasn't horribly uninformative, but I wish there was more information on it, because it tells you nothing about the structures, who owned it, or anything like that. It's just an old dilapidated house and barn. But the wildlife refuge covers about 95 acres, I think it was, with an additional 33 that could be on the other side of a road way in the back. But this is a future prospect site for the Ice Age Trail. So you can actually come out here, you can walk around, dogs are allowed. If it's between April something and like May something, you have to keep your dog on a 8-foot or shorter leash, and that's basically for the nesting birds. You don't want your dog spooking them and chasing them around and stuff. But there's supposed to be trails around here, and yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm anxious to see what happens to this. This park had been established, or the wildlife refuge was established just in 2014, so it's very new. And yeah, I think it'll be a great addition to the Ice Age Trail, because basically the Ice Age Trail is going to go from the buildings here and go out into the pasture and woods back there. I hope they can dig up more information about the structures though, and who owned them and all that. I think that'd be very interesting. But as I said before, there's a fence blocking off your access to the crumbling ruins. But it's a substantial sized house, it really is. Big crack going down the side of the barn. I don't know if you can see it in the shade. But we'll walk around and see if we can poke our head in through a window or something like that and see if there's anything inside. I highly doubt it, but there could be. Well, inside, not much of anything. Old toilet. Another door on the back side here. It's padlocked shut, of course. It has a smell like it was a grain storage or something like that. You can kind of smell the, I think it might be wheat or something that might have been stored in here. There is a upper portion. You know, there's another vent window right there. But the upper portion would be this door on this side, which I can't see anything. There's no windows or anything to see into it. I'm going to circle around the house, just around the perimeter of the fence, and see if I can get any other views of interest. So let's go around. Okay, so I'm on the back side of the structure. It's right there. And there's this big old rubble pile here. But there's this big square thing down here. And I'm thinking that might have been like an old well or something like that, but it's been filled in, so you can't really look down into it or anything like that. So there's enough rubble over here to think that there might have been another structure here of some sort, and I just don't know what. This is kind of cool though. Alright, I'm back on the Ice Age Trail. I'm just maybe, what, 20-30 yards from the entrance. This post right here is technically the start of the Ice Age Trail. So I'm going to pull out my GPS, turn it on, and get recording on this segment up the driveway. Okay, so I got that recording again. Again, I didn't record anything over at those at that old farmhouse, basically because, well, it's technically not the Ice Age Trail yet. They're working on it. It's supposed to be designated to be part of the Ice Age Trail, but it's not quite there yet. But I gotta admit, it's pretty cool. So like I said, busy road. So I'm going to head up here, finish off the Ice Age Trail, pretty much throw everything in the truck, but I got one more thing in this park that I want to show you. So let's get going and finish this up. Alright, back at the truck. Just going to drop off the pack for now. Turn off the GPS because we're done with the Ice Age Trail, and I'll go over the numbers later. Okay, so behind the bathrooms, which I am now behind, and to the right, there's a kind of a boardwalk trail thing that kind of goes up into the hills. And I will tell you history about it in just a second because there is a big, huge bulletin board up here. I mean, it's big. It's really quite big. Okay, so what St. Mary's of the Oaks is a local family survived a diphtheria epidemic that came through the area. And as a religious man, he made a vow and promised to God that if you get me through this, I'll erect a chapel in thanks for sparing his life. Well, his life was spared along with his family's, so he erected the chapel. I'm getting there. Gotta go up the path here. I think it winds over this way and then comes up that way. Oh, this is actually quite a strenuous hill. Whew. And I'm not there yet. I gotta get in better shape. Well, I made it up to the chapel. Very small. Now this was built in 1857 by a guy named John Andrus or something like that. And it was a promise that he kept because he prayed that when the diphtheria plague kind of ripped through this area, that he and his family would be spared. And he was, and his family. So he built this chapel in order to basically pay a thank you to God for sparing him and his family. It was just him and his son that built it. It's a good sized hill that's up here. This is a steep hill, and they carried all the stones up here on horses and stuff like that, and built it. And then years went by, of course, and 1926 rolls around, and was an archbishop named Mesner actually came and said that it's now a shrine. It's a holy place. So okay, it looks like it's not locked, so let's take a peek inside and see what's in there. Very nice. I actually have to duck to get in through the doorway. Now, the information I've read on this is that the altar is not original. This was actually built by descendants of John's much later. There was basically just a wooden table in here with the statues on it. Looks like you got a registry book, so if you come and visit, please sign it. I'm not Catholic, but I do respect pretty much any religion. So I'm going to sign my name. I'm glad I was here. I actually feel kind of emotional sitting here, I really do. So, Indian Lake, go on the east side of the lake, climb up the hill, come to the chapel, check it out. Well, that was nice. I always like seeing places like that. If you come up here, the hill is quite strenuous to climb. There's a boardwalk of stairs that you gotta come up and stuff. But they've got 4 or 5 sets of benches up here. There's a bench right at the top of the steps. There's also a bench right at the bottom of the steps. So if you feel energetic and want to climb up a good-sized hill, come check it out. It's a nice little place. Alright, let's get back to the truck and I'll go over my stats with you. Okay, let's see what we got here. Trip odometer 3.69 miles. You gotta remember, I'm going, setting up a camera, walking away, going back. I'm doing a lot of back and forth walking when I'm doing these videos. So 2.9, yeah, it's probably right. Took me about an hour and a half of total moving time. And then my total trip odometer is 101.69 miles. This has been the Indian Lake segment of the Ice Age Trail, along with a couple other little things that are really close. Go check the chapel out. It's up on top of the hill. Check out those old farmhouse ruins on the other side of the road. And this is Mark saying thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the road. Well, I know that I said that I was probably going to do 2 trails today, and I decided not to. It's just getting too late. I need to get home, rest up a little bit. I got to work tonight yet. But I did want to go down and check out at least the name of the trail that wasn't in my guidebook. You know, it had gray dots on it instead of just the black trail marks like normal, and it said that this was supposed to be a future site. Well, I'm here at its site. It is called the Springfield Hill Natural Resource Area. So that's the park name. I don't know exactly what the trail name is for the Ice Age. I'm sure it's probably going to be the Springfield Hill Trail or something like that. But yeah, okay, so the Ice Age Trail is here. I'll have to come up another day and do it though. And I need to get going home, so I gotta eat my Pop-Tarts too. All right, see you guys later. Bye.